everybody out there, and welcome back to Comic Frontline. I'm Chris, and you're here with me once again for another comic book review. And in this review, I'll be reviewing Superwoman, issue number 9, Superman Reborn, Aftermath. Now, before we get into anything related to Superwoman, I got to give you guys two things. Number one, bam! You got some preview art showing up right here, right now. And number two is the oh so familiar spoiler warning. I will be going in depth with Superwoman, so I gotta warn you guys that there are going to be spoilers in this video. However, I always like to give an overview, non-spoiler, of the book, my opinion overview of the book, without any spoilers before getting into the spoilers. So if you'd like to stick around, hear my overview of the book without any spoilers, and then debate whether you want to get the book or not, then you can pause the video, put in your watch later file, come back later and see if we agree or disagree on our points of view with the spoilers. So, in the last issue, Lana was inside the Kryptonian armor suit, healing, and she has all these dreams, and we see that, you know, Lois and Clark are in there, and they're like, they have to go, and we see that it's the Red Essence leaving Lana, which goes into Superman Reborn. Go check out Superman Reborn. All the Red Essence gets explained in Superman Reborn, and also it kind of explains why Lana was red. But anyway, in this book, she wakes up, and Lana is not exactly the same anymore, and it impacts her life immensely, because now it's like, will Lana be Superwoman again? And you see that she's kind of wanting to take a step back. As you see in the preview art, Superman comes in to talk with her, and I love the Lana Clark moments in this book, and I love the art as well. As you guys saw from that last preview page, I love the way Lana and Superman are drawn. I wish this artist would go into Supergirl as well. I would be really interested in seeing how the artist would do with Supergirl. I want to get the artist's name, because I really did enjoy the art in this book. Art is pencils by Steven Segovia. Steven Segovia does an excellent job in this book. I really do like his artwork. I love how he did the Fortress, Superman, Lana, Steel. Everyone looked really good in this book. But anyway, great artwork. That's the point of this whole thing, is great artwork in the book. So we also have Atomic Skull. Now, it's not a spoiler because it was part of the preview pages on this side as well. I keep thinking the previews are here, but the previews are always over here to my right. But anyway, in the preview pages, we saw that Atomic Skull is working with Maggie Sawyer and the Metropolis Special Unit to bring in all of the supervillains that are loose in Metropolis. And that's kind of like his get-out-of-jail-free card. As long as he's on his best behavior and working with Maggie Sawyer, he gets that oh-so-beautiful taste of freedom. And you see that he definitely has not an issue with Maggie per se, but an issue taking orders. He thinks that he can do things on his own, and it gets him into trouble a little bit. And we also get to see Remnant, who we haven't seen in a very long time in the DC Universe. I believe we haven't seen Remnant since way before the New 52. Way before. Unless I'm wrong and he showed up somewhere in a book I didn't read. But we haven't seen Remnant for a while. And it was a great book. Love the artwork. The story is definitely really good. All of the Superman Reborn Aftermath books, even though some of them aren't, like with Superwoman, you won't know why she was in the suit if you didn't read previous story arcs. But you can get that caught up very easily in like a, like a recap. You can go check it out on DC or somewhere where they'll give you a recap of what's gone on so far. But with a lot of the DC, with the Superman Reborn books, they're perfect jumping on points, because now all of the Superman universe has been impacted and changed by Superman Reborn. So Superwoman, Supergirl, Trinity, and of course the 2 Superman books, even New Superman, in a way, all are impacted by this change. And I'm sure after this story arc of Super Sons, that's going to get its impact as well. And I like that they're all jumping on points for people who want maybe to see what the new Superman, not the new, but what has gone on in the Superman part of the DC Universe now. And we see that heavily in Trinity, which I will be reviewing that book as well, and we'll talk about that in another video. But anyway, I really enjoyed this book. I'm very interested in seeing where Lana's going to go from here and what role she's going to play now in the Super family. And I love the Lana and Clark moments. I really do. And that ending where she's like, I love you, my friend. And it's like, that's that old feel where before, before all the Superman Reborn stuff happened and he was the other Superman for a time. Everybody thought he was the other Superman. Things were, they just didn't click with Superman. Now everything's starting to click back into place, and I'm starting to get into too many spoilers. So, really good book. Definitely something to look into. I love the artwork in this book especially. So if you like good artwork, definitely check this book out if you're an artwork alone person. But I think that this story has a lot of promise, and this definitely sets up for where Superwoman's going to be going in the future. That is my non-spoiler part of this review. Now we're going into spoilers, so warning. Lana wakes up in the Fortress of Solitude. As I said, the red essence has left her of Superman and Lois from the New 52, so that leaves Lana powerless. She does not have her powers anymore, and because of that, she can't be Superwoman, or at least the Superwoman that we've seen from issue 1 through issue 7, right before 8, where she's in that dream world. But anyway, we kind of got that hint at the end of the last issue anyway, that she lost her powers because she couldn't fly anymore. Anyway, a week goes by and Lana kind of secludes herself away from everybody. You can see that she kind of distanced herself from John Henry. I like how she also still has that thing playing in her mind about Clark and how she, she's always loved him, but she can't care for John Henry the same way she cared for Clark. And actually, John calls Clark because he knows that there's really no helping Lana, and Clark's the only one that kind of can get into Lana's head. So I like that, see, already, that whole he's the other Superman is gone. Now everything's kind of fused together, and everybody's forgetting that there were two Supermen. There's just one. So Superman shows up, and he has this long talk with Lana. Like I said, you got Atomic Skull on the other side of the book, working with the Metropolis Special Victims Unit to bring in supervillains. Remnant is their first target. So Maggie doesn't like that he had a briefing before she showed up. She's like, remember, I'm your boss. You're not the boss. And he's like, yes, boss, got your boss. Never happened again, boss. But I am kind of the one that's helping you. I'm your confidant. And she's like, I'm your boss. So Superman decides to take Lana to Metropolis and show Lana, because right now she's in Smallville. So he takes her to Metropolis and shows her, look at what an impact Superwoman had. Because he wants her to stay as Superwoman somehow, figure out a way to be Superwoman. And she's like, no, I can't be Superwoman. And in a way, I really just don't want to be Superwoman anymore. Maybe that's selfish, but I just want to... she's like, I miss the powers, but at the same time, I'm happy to be normal again. And he shows her these kids playing and pretending to be Superwoman. He shows her all these banners with Superwoman, thanking her for what happened in the first story arc, and they all saw her. And then we go back to Atomic Skull, and he finds Remnant, and what happens is Maggie gives him orders, and he kind of says, no, I could do this, don't worry about it, because she wants him to pull back. He's like, we got him, why am I going to pull back? And this fight between the two of them happens, Remnant and Atomic Skull, and they're underground, and it causes a power surge, which kind of blows the power out of Metropolis for a moment. Now, Superman and Lana are in Metropolis at this moment and see that the power goes out. So Superman takes Lana, well, he wanted to leave her, but she insisted on coming, and they go find out what the problem is. And Superman gets right in the middle of the Atomic Skull and Remnant fight. And Lana, actually, without powers, goes off and sees that there are these kids that are in the middle of this three-way fight now, and she goes and protects them. And Superman and Atomic Skull make easy work of Remnant, and actually, you'd think Atomic Skull's in trouble because he didn't listen to Maggie Sawyer, but he kind of gets just a slap on the wrist instead because they got Remnant, and Superman showed up to help, and nobody got hurt. So, next time, listen to me, Atomic Skull, or you're going to get your butt thrown back into jail. And Lana gets thanked by this woman who's like, oh, thank God you were here. If not, these children wouldn't have lived. You're their hero, or you're a hero. And obviously, that's the moment where, at the end of the book, Clark brings Lana back to the farm, and he's like, listen, I really need you to consider this, and I need you as Superwoman. And this is where the Superman Reborn kicks in, because he tells her, actually with Lana, I kind of feel bad for Lana, because he told everybody the long version, like the long version about the two Supermen that were around, and now they're one again, and how somebody is changed. He gave her a good version, but he left a lot of like the details out. And even Lana's like, okay, that's not, worrisome / lacking in details. But she's like, I'll try. I really will try. and he's like, my hero, and he just flies up. It was just a wonderful moment with Clark and Lana. The whole book was really, it just felt like old Superman. But again, DC's not telling us if the Kents are alive, but I don't think the Kents are alive. I have a feeling that that's going to be for after Rebirth. I have a feeling that whatever was changed was solely in Metropolis right now. Because even in the recap with Superman, we never got to see the Kents other than when they found the baby. So my hypothesis is they are not addressing the Kents at all yet until after Rebirth, or maybe later on in Rebirth. So I really enjoyed this book. This was a very good read. I would definitely recommend, if you've never picked up Superwoman before, get a rundown of what's gone on so far. And if you enjoyed this book, you can go out and probably get the first trade paperback by now. I believe the first trade paperback's out, and then you can go back 1 or 2 issues if the trade ends an issue or 2 early, and you can completely trade paperback your way up. It was supposed to be Lois of the New 52 who was Superwoman, and then we kind of got blindsided by, oh no, it's really Lana, and now it all makes sense. But back then it was like, well, you kind of advertised Lois, and now of course it makes sense. But I'm enjoying it. I love the artwork in this book, and I like the story. And now it's going to be interesting because the next issue is, I believe it's called Rebuilding, if I'm not mistaken. I want to make sure. No, Rediscovery. So it's going to be Lana rediscovering how she can be Superwoman again and how she can help Clark. Because one day Clark's going to need her. And that's what he tells her. He needs his whole family up and ready for when he needs them, you know, when he calls them. And that's going to be very interesting. And I'm really, really interested in seeing where Superwoman's going from here. So definitely give Superwoman a look when you go into your local comic shop this week. Or if you order online like I do, maybe something to consider picking up. There's a really nice variant for the book. So I would definitely say if you like variant covers that are the same price as regular covers, check that out as well. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. As always, we are Comic Frontline, your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you like what you saw here and you're new, hopefully you will click that sub button and notification bell. This way we're in your sub box and you don't miss out on a single video. We have at least 3 live shows every single week. Frontline Live, Dark Avenger Live, and Media Madness. Not in that order. Media Madness is in the middle, so it's Frontline Live, Media Madness, Dark Avenger Live on Fridays. I do my full Dark Avenger comic book review show live right now. We got lots of other things going on Frontline. We've got Rebirth, we've got Resurrection, we've got Rebirth. Yeah, we got Rebirth, Resurrection, Reborn for Superman. We got a lot of stuff going on Frontline. And if you want more Frontline goodness, go check out comicfrontline.com. Lots of great stuff going on there as well. And if you want to check out any of our individual work, go check out the front channel page. And we have all of our channels right there on the sidebar where you can check all of our individual works out as well. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. And until next time, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I'll see you guys really soon in the next video.